Hey, good morning. This is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, and welcome to Shifting Perspectives. I am off my game today. I have a headache, and I'm just having one of those. Ugh, it feels so gross. So I probably just need to do some self care and chill. So there's this. This is what I love. This is like the sweet spot of the work I do. So I'm a rising celebrity. There's bottom line. I'm a rising celebrity. I have a lot of sources, and it's all plugged in here. And it's starting to fill in, and all the momentum that I've been building up is now starting to break through, and I saw a massive uptick. And this is how it goes. You're basically here, and here's where basically everybody is. So we all start off here for the most part. And then you kind of go here and you see a little bit of uptick, and then you go here, and every time you go up a level, there's new things, new obstacles to build. There's new obstacles to basically juggle. And once you learn how to juggle and master them, it's like the universe knows. I love her to pieces. She's such a good, love you. So this is how it goes. Is it just goes up another level, and then it goes up another level, but it doesn't go up the level until you've mastered each level, like a video game. So I'm sitting here. This is where it gets really awesome. Is I've got my children and my family life. I have my partner, and then I have my mission. Yeah, I love being able to finally sit down and like I need to lay this all out. So I have my mission. I have to make sure that basically it's I have an idea. I want to do X, and this is true of any time you put a business together. But my business is there's the business, and I've got 2 brands actually happening. I have Anna Imagination and I have the Healing Garden, which I do. I multi-brand. And I wasn't going to do this. And I feel like an idiot because I have to do this. I've always done it this way because I've got the business, but people love my awesome magnetic personality that if I don't filter this as well, I haven't I it's a mess. And I basically have been doing that here where I have Anna Imagination happening over here and I have the Healing Garden, and I wasn't going to do it this time. Now, when I did Brain to Books, I also was building my author brand. So I actually had 3 brands when I was doing Brain to Books. I had my Angela B. Chrysler author brand, and then I had Brain to Books for the marketing, and then I had me, like my fan circle. And these are people who absolutely adored me, who just got into my close circle. So I had my close circle to manage, and that's really it. I have my close community or my close circle to manage, and then I've got the actual brand business, and then I had my author. Now, people come in as far as social skills go. You have fans, and these are people who just love and admire your work. Then you have friend wannabes, and these are the people who want to be your friend because they think you're cool. And yeah, that right there is where I'm having a problem. And then you have lover wannabes, big eye roll there. And then you've got business cohorts, literally networking. Now, these are people who, and this comes in 2 categories. There's the sales calls, which is garbage. And then there's the actual people who are on your level and they can actually help you. They can help you. They want to be helped by you. There's this beautiful exchange of, hey, let's take care of each other. They get it. Those are my people. So here's the problem. When you get into this kind of management, you want to put up a wall between, yes, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm having this conversation because now that I'm saying it all out loud, it's really articulating the problem so I can find the solution. So here's the issue. I don't want to cut off access to my fans. I want my fans to be able to get a hold of me and at least have an outlet. That's what I need. I need an outlet for my fans so they can feel connected to me. So that's number 1. And then I've got the business to business where they want to get a hold of me because they want to book me on a stage. They want to do business with me. They've got ideas for world events and they want to get in touch with me. So I have an outlet to direct that wave. The sales calls, they're getting a massive iron curtain. Like, don't go away. You're not even on the same caliber as I am. Like it's they are used to selling to stay-at-home moms who are just looking to do a little side business. And 99% of the stuff that they have is no, 100% of all the stuff they have is from the patriarchy. And it's just like, no. And I already have my team. So I literally have all of my people in place. When I'm ready to find people, I manifest it and then I cherry pick the one that I want. So people coming and knocking on my door is like, okay, it's equivalent to those paper flyers you get on your car or in your, yeah, so you get it. You get it. It's equivalent to those paper flyers you get in your fence or on your car. And you're like, keep your garbage off of my shit, you know? So I get a lot of those. I get probably 3 to 4 of those a day. So I want to put an absolute hardcore no up to them. Like, what the fuck? And this is my point. This is some guy, God knows where, wanting to have phone sex. And this is the kind of bullshit I'm right now trying to figure out how to taper. So, and they just randomly call because Facebook has this fucking Facebook. They have this outlet open so that you can just call. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm trying to figure out how to change my settings on Facebook. The problem is I need my Facebook open so I can get other people who are legit in, but I don't know how to filter that shit. And it's causing me a lot of anxiety. So this is why I'm trying to manage all of that. And then I've got these other two groups, the friend wannabes and the lover wannabes. And here's my little my issue right here is I am in the process of building my friendship circle. I am in the process of literally like I'm wanting my own personal private community. So I am trying to put out feelers to grow that community. And I'm also putting up barriers from shit like this where they're calling me randomly. It's like, and I'm at a point where I'm going, okay, it's out of hand. I literally get 30 messages a day from people. And of those 30 messages, one or two might be legit. And other than that, it's just all sexual harassment. So I have been all over the internet on this, trying to figure out how to shut this down because I'm getting bombarded by way too many harassments. And that's not including the spammers and the scam. So I'm not filtering my messaging. I'm way too accessible. So I have to put up this massive iron. I don't even know how to do automated messages on Facebook. And that's another one of my problems is even if they message me, I can't do an automated message. And it's at a point where like I have an auto message, but it's not set up to do auto. I have to manually send it. So I send it and I get people who won't even read it and then will bypass it and just keep talking to me. So I ignore them. And then I get people who are like, okay. And I'm like, dipshit, you've contacted a business. And it's not happening once or twice, it's happening a lot, which tells me I need to get better at managing this. But the controls that Facebook provides me is not, like I said, it's just this massive thing. And right now it's just causing me a lot of stress. So I'm trying to figure this out. And I realized that I've maxed out everything else at this level that I'm currently at. And I feel the uptick just happened. I felt it. Where before, like a week ago, I was getting about 5 of these DMs a day, 7, and now it's at 30. And I went from like I doubled my Facebook group literally within 2 days. And I'm going, okay, it's starting to pick up. And now I have another thing that I've put out there. I have another booking, another stage that I've been booked on for October. So, and that's going to open the floodgates. And I'm going, all right, I need to get this shit together now because this is getting out of hand. So I've got to significantly figure out how to really manage and taper this monstrosity, and it keeps coming back to this problem with Facebook. So I think that's what I need. This is me trying to figure out how to manifest this so I know what to say to these, so I know what I want so I can get what I want. What I want is somebody who can teach me how to get Facebook under control. I need one person to help me out with Facebook. That's what I need because I'm at a point where no matter how much I Google, I cannot get this right. So I need somebody to help me with Facebook. That's what I need because I'm at a point where, yeah, I need to find somebody who knows Facebook enough that I can work the controls. So I need a social media expert. That's what I need. And I need the same thing with YouTube, but YouTube and LinkedIn are like low priority. Yeah. See, now it's all starting to come together. And my problem is, and I have like this thing all set up. So if you go to my Linktree account, I have basically, I literally have an application for friends to fill out if they want to get into my circle. Like it's that bad because I have that many requests. And my partner said it best one day. We were at an event last December and people were gushing over me again, like, oh my God, Anna. And he goes, yeah, everybody loves Anna. And Anna is so over it. Like he said it so well. And in public, it's worse. So I'm going, okay, it's just the magnetism. It's my energy. And it's like, I've had this I need to figure out a way to filter it because it is drawing in way too much attention. And it's the authenticity, by the way. I'm going to be blunt. It's 100% the authenticity. When you are authentic, you attract everybody because people are so starved. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. We are so craving our own authenticity that when we see it in other people, it's like you just handed someone starving and dehydrated in a desert a massive bucket of water to drink from. So whenever somebody sees authenticity, it absolutely attracts like hordes of people because they are craving it. And instead, emotional prosthetic. Instead of looking for your own authenticity, most people, as soon as they sniff out authenticity, they'll just and gravitate toward it, which is why marketers will tell you if you are marketing your business, just be authentic. But they don't know this. They just realize that it's happening, but they don't understand why. What it is when you are authentic, because everyone is craving their own authenticity, they use people for emotional prosthetics and they gravitate toward that authenticity. So here I am oozing all over the place with my authenticity, and it attracts people because everyone's craving their own authenticity. And instead of seeking it out for themselves, because that's really scary and it truly is, they instead use people who are authentic as an emotional prosthetic to cling to them so they can get a taste of the authenticity. The authenticity is just linked up to the energy field. Really, we're all just craving the energy field. We're craving to be connected to this energy field. And there's so much disconnection happen that we don't know how to connect to it. And that's what Triadic healing does. It teaches you how to connect to the energy field. So once like there's like 3 or 4 major messages happening right now in the world. There's you got to increase your mental health, and you got to be real with yourself, and you need to like shed out all the stuff that's been bogging you down and start being honest, and you need to do all the mental work and let go of your past. So all these 4 messages are like really solid right now and they're trending. But the problem is they're not precisely articulating what it is you're actually doing. So what you're really doing is we are instinctively, and this is total instinct driven, we are instinctively hunting down, looking for us returning to the energy field and connecting to it. And it's such a massive drive right now that we're all scrambling, going, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for something. What am I looking for? You are looking for your story. You need to understand who you are and what you are. And in order to do that, you need to know what your story is. But you don't know what your story is because you don't have the big picture. You lack the perspective. The perspective is there's an electromagnetic field, which is the energy pool, and that's where we come from, that's where we're born, that's our everything. And a long, long, long time ago, we got disconnected from that. And when you get to a certain intelligence, a certain education level, 6, perspective growth, it turns back on and it hooks back up. And because we're so unaware of it, we're gravitating towards. So we're all moving towards this massive energy field without even being aware that it's there. And because this is all abstract and we can't physically see any of it, you've got a lot of non-believers and you've got a lot of believers. So there's that divide happening. And then you have a lot of people throwing around spirituality and they're all trying to figure it out. We're just going back to the hive mind. That's all it is. We're a hive mind, but it's an individuality hive mind where we're all connected together. And in order to do this, we all have to basically get to stage 6, perspective growth. And then when that happens, it automatically hooks up to the energy field and everything that isn't authentic sheds off of us. And we hook up to the energy field and we're connected again. And then we're home again. It's very much like in Deep Space Nine with Otto. I believe that's how you say his name. And it's him having that call to go back to the pool of changelings. It's that. So yeah, that's pretty much. And there's people who have figured that out, and then there's people who are in search of it, and their hippocampus has hooked up to it, and they don't know what's going on. And then there's people who have a feeling like I'm being called towards something, and I don't know what it is. And then you have people who are oblivious, and that's the spectrum. That's it right there. So and I'm probably going to work on this today, where it's where are you? And there's people who are oblivious. Those are your foundationals. There's people who have that pull, that sense of calling of I'm looking for something. Something's drawing me further on, and I don't know what it is, but I've got to follow it. So you have, I'm going to call them the wanderers, the people who are on the journey. And then you have the people who are hooked up to that electromagnetic field. They're connected to it, and they're going, oh my God, holy shit, what the hell is going on? And then you have people who have figured it out. And I'm in the group category of I have figured it out. Now, of the people who are in this group, I'm the only one with a stupidly high psych degree. So with the philosophy and the psychology and the all my studies, now I'm standing above the rest going, okay, here's all the words. This is what it is you're looking for. Because I've studied like 18,000 concepts, 18,000 different subject matters. And it was the bringing together of all of these subjects. And this is the beautiful thing. When you're studying a subject in school or in college, you're studying all of these little pieces. And we say it's all the same subject. It's all the same topic. And then there's people who go, oh, yeah, I know it's all connected. No, you don't understand. It's not connected. It's the same topic. It's You're studying perspective. You're studying the story. And there's scientists who are examining this thing, this entity. Yeah, you've got this entity. And scientists examine it, and they create mathematics. They create physics. They create electromagnetism. They create neuroscience. They come back and they studied it more. And then, so you've got all these pockets of scientists. And then you've got over here, you've got artists. Oh, well, I've studied this. Okay, now, so here's my interpretation. You've got poets, you've got dancers, you've got musicians, you've got writers, and you've got painters, and they're all interpreting the same thing. And then you have theologians, all with different religions, studying this thing. And now they're giving their theological research. It's like a person, a patient walks into a hospital with one injury, and you've got all of these different doctors, all with different specialties, studying it, giving their own perspective and their own interpretation. We're all talking about the same thing. And the same thing is the story, the ultimate question. And it's the question that's asked in philosophy. Who are we? What are we? Where are we going? And why are we here? And this is the ultimate question. So all of these subjects, astrology, astronomy, theater, all of it has merged out, poured out, and it's all talking about and interpreting this same topic. And like I said, there's people who are oblivious, and then there's people who they've got the pull, and then there are people who are hooked up to it going, oh my God, what's happening to my brain? And then you have people who've settled down and they're like, okay, I've got the flow and I'm in the vortex. Abraham Hicks is really fucking close. Their issue is the language. That's their only problem. They've got it all figured out. Abraham Hicks is spot on, except the language is a little off because they lack some of the education. But aside from that, they are the closest to actually interpreting the same stuff that I'm seeing. And they're just so fucking spot on. So, but again, it's you have to have this massive variety of subject matters to study. You can't have just one. You have to have 5. You have to have philosophy, theater, story, art, history, sociology, psychology, all of them combined. And once you have and physics, and once you have all of them combined, then you can see it. But our society discourages you from becoming a master of all. In fact, we're gaslit and told, oh, you can't do that. Yes, you can. You can master multiple topics. Absolutely. That's another limitation that the society puts on you. I'm going to call that group, and I'm going to call that group the can't doers. There you go. They are can't doers. They're canters. I'm going to call them canters because they're the very first ones who constantly say you can't do that. They're canters. They are the first ones to step up and say you can't do that. So we have a lot of these perspectives of ours that are limited and held back because we have an entire population of can't doers. And that puts a significant damper on our progress, on our personal progress from these can't doers. The can't doers are foundationals. Bottom line, this is it. Can't doers. Can't doers are the foundationals, the people who are first in line to say, you can't do that. And that's all they say. So they regurgitate that garbage into us. So as we get out of it, we've still got can't doers stuck in our brain. Oh, I am so running with this is what we're going to talk about today is just can't doers. Are you a can't doer? Or have you been contaminated by can't doers? And it's the biggest obstacle that we have to overcome is the can't doers because we have this so deeply embedded. Oh, you can't do that. And it's the I've cured mental illness. Oh, you can't do that. Fuck you, I can't. Watch me. Like that's the concept. I'm going to make $1 million this year. Oh, you can't do that. I'm going to own my own business. Oh, you can't do that. They are the first in line to tell you what you can't do. I'm going to master 4 different subjects. Oh, you can't do that. Jack of all trade, master of none. You can't do that. Fuck you, I can't. Maybe you can't, but I can. Watch me. So once you understand that there's can't doers, once you really wrap your head around this and you realize, oh, my parents were can't doers. Oh, my teachers were can't doers. Oh, and I'm going to tell you right now, the list of can't doers, I'm going to write this all out in an article. The list of can't doers are boom here. And you're going to see your parents are in there. Your church is in there. Your religion is in there. Your culture is in there. Your traditions are in there. The patriarchy is in there. Your politicians are in there. Your teachers are in there. They're all can't doers. And so you're going on this massive voyage of self-discovery. And every time you make progress, oh, you can't do that. Oh my God, that is like the number one problem that my clients have. Oh, I can't do that. Oh my God, yes, you can. You come from a society of can't doers. That's what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with them because they have bred the society of can't doers. So when you step out of that and you're wanting to move on and you're wanting to do your own thing and you're wanting to become who you are you a can't doer? Now, no, you're not. I'm going to tell you right now because you are an explorer. And that's really it. The age of exploration. There's the age of exploration. I mean, if you think about it, it's the mindset that we had in the 1500s when we decided to start exploring the world and we decided to start sailing around the world. And we got to this point where there was a lot of people who were during that age of exploration moving around and going where they wanted to go. And it got to that point where they discovered what they could do. They found their limitations. They got to where they needed to get. They pushed themselves to their limits. They discovered and they found these so much more than they were expecting. Oh, wow, the world's a lot bigger than we thought. God, can you imagine living in a world where you don't know the world? Can you imagine? Wow. Wow. That's really like interesting. Yeah, it's really fascinating to me. So, God, that's an interesting psychology. Really interesting psychology. Being limited to only looking at your terrain and going, well, this is the world as we know it. Yeah. Interesting. So with the concept of exploration, that's pretty much where we're at now, is this massive, we're exploring the ethereal now. And we've got a whole lot of can't doers. And that is holding you back. It's holding me back. It's holding them back. And the sooner you can step out of the can't doers and the biggest can't doers, the biggest problem, the biggest obstacle, and that's the source a lot of my rage, a lot of my anger is the can't doers. And I'll tell you, I mean, I'm 43. So I'm making fantastic progress, especially with the shit I've overcome. I'm really proud of myself. I've overcome a lot of fucking shit. And I'm going, all right, I'm where I need to get. I'm going where I want to go. I'm set. I came a long way. Yes, I would have gone further if I wasn't stopped by a bunch of can't doers. And I've made it through. But really, when you sit down and you think about how the world is divided between the explorers and the can't doers, and how much the can't doers are just holding us back. They're first in line to pull on our shirts, drag us back to them and say, oh, you can't do that. And the reason why is because they are afraid of exploration. They are terrified. They love their ignorance because there is safety in their ignorance. Ignorance is bliss. They love their ignorance. And there's a whole lot of us going, no, I'm all done with this. So I am pushing it out there. I am saying, no, let's do this. I'm first in line. Let's go. Age of exploration. Only this time we're exploring what we can't see because we all can feel it. We all can feel it. The can't doers. I believe that a lot of the can't doers can feel it. And I believe that they're terrified of it. I believe that the can't doers and can't doers are the first, second, third, and fourth perspectives. Bottom line, they are your foundationals. Foundationals very much have a you can't do that mindset. And the reason why is because their parents before them told them that they can't do it. We talk about imposter syndrome all the time, and I really hate the concept of imposter syndrome because it is so fucking vague. It is so fucking vague. And I've gotten into, and this has been the topic for the last 2 weeks now, over imposter syndrome and what you can expect with imposter syndrome. And we're all starting to haggle over the fine details. Now, every time I notice us all haggling about the details, this is important. This is where I say, all right, it's time to back up and look at the larger perspective. You need the bigger umbrella, which means if we're all haggling over the petty definition, we need a better definition. So I'm throwing out imposter syndrome because there are people who have symptoms of imposter syndrome, but they don't feel like they're an imposter. They feel like they have can't do syndrome because can't doers fall into all of these categories. They make you an imposter. That's it. You have can't doers. And then in can't doers, you have the people who have imposter syndrome. You have people who they feel like they belong there. See, imposters don't even feel like they belong there. You have people who feel like they belong there, but they've got this can't do or stuck in their head. And they're toggling between, I want to, but I've been conditioned to be told I can't. But I belong there. Oh, but I can't. But I belong there. And how strong it is in you. Really, really, God, I want to send this video. I have like one person specifically in mind as I'm talking about this. Hi. And I'm sending this video to her because the more I get into this, the more I'm going, yes, this is it. And because she was explaining to me, I'm just going to call you out, my love. I love you, and I'm just going to call you right out on it. I was talking to her yesterday, and she had a massive breakthrough, and she was explaining to me how she's been breaking through. She's also a rising celebrity, and she every time she gets to a certain point, her can't doers pull her back. And she's actually the one who inspired this whole conversation in my head because I was thinking about what she was saying. And I'm like, it's interesting because what she said ignited what else I was thinking. And I'm going, yeah, it's the same thing. And it's not imposter syndrome because I know I belong there. She knows she belongs there. It's a calling. And we're going, I must go touch the moonlight. It calls to me and I must be. You feel that. And then, oh, you can't do that. And it's like, oh, go away. So once you name it, then you overcome it. The naming is the understanding. Once you name it, then you understand it. I really need to sit down and put together and this is something that I ran into. When I built Triadic Healing, I was building it for the fourth perspectives. And now that I'm finally completely over in Analand, in the magical realm of imagination, I'm going, now I need to put it in 10th perspective language. Now I need to just write it for me. So I'm going to write Triadic Healing's course out for me. And I'm going to keep the work I've done for them, for the foundationals. But I'm done catering to the foundational. I can't do it anymore. I'm not there. It's just, I don't relate to it. And so instead of me trying to speak from their point of view, I'm going to speak from my point of view. And then I will just pass my information on to cultivators, and cultivators can translate it. But yeah, if you want to be a translator, let me know. That's a cultivator. If you want to be a translator, you're a cultivator. Yeah, that's a really, really, yeah. I'm creating a society. Join me. And the society very much exists outside of the can't doers. And there's so many of us now, and we're disorganized, and we're wandering around, and we're going, all right, I'm here, but what is this place? All right, everyone come to me. Come on, over here. Let's get organized. Come on, people, let's get organized. This is my beacon. This is my garden. Now this is my palace. And it's literally just an open door for anyone who's out there wandering outside of the can't doer land. And now you're in Anna land. So we're going to get this all cleaned up. We're going to organize, and we're going to start putting it all together because there's a lot of us who are over here, and Yeah, you're all in different stages. So I'm going to walk it. I'll walk you all through it, and we're going to start breaking this down because that's really what's going on here. Is subconsciously, mentally, we are outside of the system, but we're still in the system, kind of. And so it's confusing, and there's no direction. We all need a leader, and I'm claiming that spot. So boom, Queen Anna. All right, so we're going to do this, and yes, it's a monarch because that's awesome. It's going to be a kingdom because there's magic in kingdoms. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this together. We're going to talk more about can't doers and basically that divide. And we're going to sharpen up this language. I'm going to talk about the naming and the importance of understanding because that's really it. There's the remembering, which is the awakening. People are going, oh, I've woken up. I'm awakened. You're remembering. You're remembering. It's not an awakening. You're not enlightened. You're remembering. Call it the right words. Words matter. Oh my God, we're spellcasters, people. And if we're not using the right words, shit happens. So I'm going to go ahead and get that started up. I'm going to send that out. And I got to get this video over to somebody. Thank you so much. And I will be seeing you later today.